call. He's on the line. Hello. Those very much indeed, don't you?
Love it.
Yes, and no one can hear you nodding your head, Dave, but you are nodding your head. Yes, Marco and Andy are big fans as well. Dom's made this week's as well. Dom's taken ownership of this. He almost sees it as a personal battle now, I think, to try to outwit people. But before we do that, we're going to speak to Mackem Cabbie, who's given us a call. He's on the line. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
All right.
Very well, Mackem Cabbie. How are you?
Fine. Had a really good day today at work in the glorious sunshine up in Carlisle.
Good stuff. Yeah, windows up, windows down, tunes blasting out.
Well, I don't know if a bit of Engelbert Humperdinck will go down well with the passengers like, but never mind.
It would suit me. Can't knock Engelbert Humperdinck, can you?
No, not at all. No, I just want to basically, when I was driving around at work today, I was just thinking, trying to be optimistic, thinking, I would like to see Sunderland go for the top two next season. And then I'm thinking, am I being a bit daft? Am I getting carried away? Or do you think there's nothing wrong with thinking to aim that high with Sunderland Football Club, especially the last 2 seasons and being in the Championship? What do you reckon, Mark? Am I being a bit too daft thinking, top two away, be a bit realistic here? Or what? What do you reckon?
I think, sadly, it all comes down to your budget. That is the biggest factor. And we're going to probably lose some players, some of our better ones. And we've they're difficult, as we've seen with Ross Stewart. Although I know it's a bit of a misnomer because he hasn't really gone on to better things because of his injuries. But, finding a replacement for him has been difficult. So that's put me off.
Mackem Cabbie's cat has made a debut on Total Sport.
Oh, sorry, I'll go into the other room.
No, you don't worry about that.
No, we like a bit of input.
Yes. You need to tell us the name of your cat before we go any further. What's the name of your cat?
This one's Alaska, and she doesn't like you being on the phone.
Go on, then ask her.
She goes daft. Yeah,
I see.
Alaska.
That's the most sense anybody spoke for the last half an hour.
But it was a high quality mew. Anyway, carry on, Marco. Yes.
Yeah, where were we? It's I think going for the top two. Look, I think it's fair to say that even when we were 5th, 6th, 7th for most of last season, I don't think they went for the top two then, and that might be our best chance for a few years now. We may regret that in 3 or 4 years' time, because we could have, with a bit of sensible spending in the January window, we could have really challenged that season. But we didn't, and we've ended up with this situation where we've took 2 steps back, haven't we? Really. But that's, it's budgets. That is the biggest factor. We've got the 3 more teams coming down with the parachute payments, and, whoever else is going to have a crack next year.
You think if Ipswich can do it, we're spending on doing what they can, why can't Sunderland,
that's been a common refrain, but they...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know the full story then, but they've got an investment fund backing them from the USA. I think I saw a figure of 100 million quid, mentioned.
Yeah.
And
different financial structure, different model as well.
And it's a risk. That was a risk, but their thinking was that they have safe investments and risky investments, and that was a risky investment. So if they didn't make it in a couple of years, they could absorb it.
It wouldn't be the end of the world. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, some quick thoughts from Ian and what you've been saying as well. Go on, Ian.
The bookies are never far wrong. We are 20-1 to win the Championship next season.
Okay.
Having said that, we are only 6-1 to get promoted.
Right.
So if you think we're going to go top 2, you're not going to get great odds unless you go for the 20-1.
Those seem particularly stingy odds, bearing in mind what's happened this season.
Well, yeah, because I think, like everyone else, they're waiting to see what's next. If someone does come in...
I suppose so. And bookies are generally stingy.
Well, bookies they're never far wrong.
You just need to listen to our Friday night bookie, Chris Jones, to know that. Okay, Mackem Cabbie and your cats, thank you very much indeed for coming on tonight.
No problem. Can I just mention just one quick thing, or am I getting booted off?
No, I'm not going to boot you off. I couldn't do that, Mackem Cabbie. Go on.
It's a lot of fans, like in the past, that have been saying, Jobe Bellingham, I didn't rate him. He goes missing too many matches. It wouldn't be a miss if he goes. But I honestly think there's a little hidden gem there with Jobe. I think he's shown bits of brilliance in him. I remember the cracking goal he scored against Plymouth. Do you agree with me thinking it'd be really worth keeping hold of Jobe with the right players around him, right support? He could be a cracker.
There's something to discuss. We'll say goodbye to you, Mackem Cabbie. Thank you, and I'll get these two in the studio to discuss that. But thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, mate. Go on, Ian,
the range of
give us your view on that.
Noises.
Jobe Bellingham is potentially a quality footballer. He glides across the park really well. He looks comfortable. He's 18. He's not a man yet. He's still a kid. He needs time to mature. If we let him go too soon, we could lose a gem. We've got to stick with him, give the lad his opportunity. He's playing with an experienced player, Dan Neil, who's all of 20, who's played over 100 games for the club now.
I agree.
But he needs time. He needs time. He needs support. If he had a Corey Evans around him, Marco, that's what he needs. Somebody grab him by the shorts, pull him back, tell him where to go, tell him what to do. I think the kid's keen. I think he's got ability.
18, isn't he?
He needs time.
Yeah.
You know, we forget how young he is. And the other point which I made a few months ago is this. Unfortunately, he'll get compared to his brother, but he doesn't have to be as good as his brother. If he's half as good as his brother, he will still be.
That would still be a pretty good player.
He'll still be a good player. Yeah. So I agree with you. I think he's a good player who's been in an average team, and especially in our attacking third, which is probably where he's gonna show bigger improvement, I think.
This is Total Sport, BBC Radio Newcastle. Simon Pride, Marco Gabbiadini, John Anderson. We've got Ian Sunderland.